quickly and mention a very quick congratulations to England and France, who held their elections to great success. We would talk about them tonight, but we're in America. So... last week we did a live show after the debate. Wait, where did we leave off? This cannot be real life. It just can't. We're America. God. Ah, yes, anger and despair. By the way, for those of you at home, the scripts are printed on Kevlar, which is why I had trouble. It's no way weak fingers. Now, since the debate, it's been quite interesting, actually. Many Democrats have expressed concern that the president has a hard time expressing thoughts. And then there is this other camp who thinks that those people should shut the up.
Stop this whining, stop the complaining, stop trying to be the cool, cynical kids.
I would not want to be in a foxhole with any of the people who, you know, were clutching their pearls all of a sudden.
Pearl clutching and hand-wringing.
We're bedwetting and soaking all the way through the mattress.
We panic and piss our pants.
First of all, I'm not sure incontinence is the metaphor you want to go with. And second of all, when are we going to free Senator Fetterman from the Turkish prison he's being held in? I don't know, piss his pants. But to those of you who say these concerns are simple pearl wetting and bed clutching, we all make mistakes, I thought I would take a moment to explain where the concern about Biden's performance might be coming from, and why these concerns may be seen as a more foundational issue. You see, even before the debate, there had been some troubling moments of disconnect from the president. You know, perhaps this chart could, if I may, sorry, the pen caps are made of Kevlar. Very difficult to... Perhaps this chart will illustrate and illuminate the point more clearly. For instance, in 2022, when we saw Biden give a shout out to Representative Jackie.
Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
Unfortunately, Jackie was dead. It's something that the president seemed to have known 6 weeks earlier when he released a condolence statement about her death. So, Then there was the recounting of a recent conversation that the president had had with his counterpart, the president of France.
And Mitterrand from France looked at me and said, you know, why, how long are you back for?
Unfortunately, Mitterrand is also dead. For longer even than that first lady, so... And even on teleprompter, things continue to... Like the reading of the instructions people sometimes add to teleprompter scripts.
The percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
At the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name. 4 more years
course, to be fair, State of the Union. Concern dropped a little bit at the State of the Union. He kind of nailed it. But then the debate happened, and we kind of, what the f***? What? Now, to my mind, the debate was a shocking display of cognitive difficulty, recognizable to, unfortunately, anybody who's dealt with aging parents, and it's a hard watch. But there were many viewers who felt it was not as noteworthy as Biden's opponent in the debate.
It's pretty amazing that, 90% of the conversation is around Joe Biden's style. When up on that stage, Donald Trump was engaged in a level of pathological lying that we've never seen.
Shouldn't the discussions also be about Trump's fitness to serve?
Every time he opened his mouth, he said something insane or that was a lie. Why aren't there calls for Trump to drop out? Where are they?
Yeah. Why doesn't anyone ever speak out about Donald Trump? Or, let's say, every night for 10 years. But you know what? Fair point. I take your point. Not me, because I wasn't here, but other people. Fair point, and let's take a look at Trump's chart. It's been bad since he started with grab him by the pussy. I mean, what are you going to do? The whole thing's been bad. The whole thing. The difference is this. I will tell you the difference. I will tell you the difference. The difference is Trump delivered at the debate to expectation. We expect him to be crazy. But Biden's performance and inability to articulate at times was stunning. Like, I could not believe what I was watching. Just thinking about it again just makes me want to rip up my... Why do we make this out of such strong material? But then it got worse. Rather than respecting the American people and having an honest, at least partial conversation about what we had all seen, we were told immediately, these are not the droids you're looking for.
He has a stutter.
He hasn't debated in 4 years.
He was almost over-prepared.
He had an off night. People have an off night.
You know, the president traveled 6 time zones forward to G7, and he was also continued to do his presidential duties. And also he had a cold. He was jet lagged.
He'd been home for almost 2 weeks. He was jet lagged? How big is that f***ing jet? The point is, for a campaign based on honesty and decency, the spin about the debate appears to be blatant bullshit. And the redemption tour hasn't gone that much better, whether it's been on the radio.
I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president.
Yes, Queen. Or whether the president is on prompter and fired up.
Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
I got to tell you, somehow, confusion with confidence is even more unsettling. Or when the president sat down with George Stephanopoulos to prove once and for all how cogent he is and to film a bronzer ad. Orange man good? None of this was reassuring. And we're told that the threat of Trump is so great And the stakes are so high that even bringing up these absolutely legitimate concerns about the president's ability to do the most vigorous job in the world for the next 4 years is enabling fascism. Yet even the president doesn't seem particularly alarmed.
If you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
That's not what this is about! There are no participation trophies in endgame democracy. Oh, yes. I remember FDR saying, well, if the Nazis take over Europe, at least both teams had fun. And it's really troubling as this new information has been introduced. We just learned about this, and now we're all being told, well, you should have thought of that before you knew it.
We can't go against the will of the voters. Democrats who voted in all 50 states in the primary, that is who they want to be their nominee.
He's the nominee because millions and millions of people voted for him to be our nominee.
And he will be our nominee. End of story.
There was no real primary. Biden ran against Dean Phillips. That's not even a real person. That's a stock photo on the package for a garden hose. It's not a person. It's AI. And let me say this. Authoritarianism and Donald Trump aren't the only threats our democracy faces. An arthritic status quo, unable or unwilling to respond in any way to the concerns of voters who just received new and urgent information about their candidate, also erodes confidence and faith in the system of government. Get on board or shut the up is not. Yeah. Honestly, though, get on board or shut the up is not a particularly compelling pro-democracy bumper sticker. Nor is, what are you going to do?
I've gotten a lot of text today from folks who watched a lot of West Wing episodes and imagine a very complex path through which we might have a robust primary process. But, Wolf, you know the reality. There's 4 months left to the presidential election.
4 months is forever. Britain just held an election in 2 months. France had 2 in 1 month, defeated fascism, and still had time to have an affair with Denmark. Are you telling me, you sons of bitches, are you coming to my house and saying to my face that the United States of Bruce Springsteen's America can't hold an election better than a French? Is that what you're telling me? It's 4 months. 4 months. It's 119 days. There are contestants on The Bachelor who haven't even met yet that will get married and divorced between now and the election. We have nothing but time. And by the way, I am in no way saying Biden's got to drop out, but can't we stress test this candidacy? Can't we open up the conversation? Do you understand the opportunity here? Do you have any idea how thirsty Americans are for any hint of inspiration or leadership and a release from this choice of a megalomaniac and a suffocating gerontocracy? It is crushing our spirits. Do you have any idea what could be ahead of you? All we want is for someone to keep it 100. The percentage, not the age. That's all we want. Here's an idea. I'll spitball it. It's last minute. But why don't we try and get all the Democrats together in, I don't know, 6 weeks' time? We could get everybody to fly into some Midwestern town, maybe like one adjacent to important swing states. Let's call it Chicago. And they could spend, I don't know, 4 days there because nobody works Fridays anymore. And on Monday, anybody who wants to gives their sales pitch of how they can make democracy more responsive to the people it is supposed to serve. You could bang it out. On Tuesday, the winners could move on to the next round and then face Biden. They could face Biden. Biden had a bye. Wednesday would be an off-day bus tour to find the restaurant from the Bear. Thursday, the party emerges, energized, unified, sanctified. You could televise the entire proceeding for 4 days. You could call it, I don't know, The Apprentice. I'm just workshopping here. So, feel free to ignore any obvious weaknesses in your team's existential fight for freedom and democracy. And then just white-knuckle this thing till November. Or take the advice of your own candidate.
Do you think there is any Democrat who could defeat Donald Trump other than you?
Probably 50 of them.
50? I gotta say, I like the cut of that fella's jib.